Does your content get you clients? Because most coaches and consultants are making one big mistake when it comes to what they're posting, and it's leading to a lot of wasted time and not a lot of dollars. So, today we're going to talk about content, not in a you need to post 3 times a day and just be yourself and build a funnel kind of content. I want to talk about why this isn't working, even though I feel like I'm posting all the time and I'm still not getting any clients kind of content. So, if you're interested in finding out why your content isn't converting, what type of content actually makes people say, I need that, and the 4 flavors of content every expert needs in their strategy, stick around because you're going to love this episode. I'm Laura Zovelson, and this is the Gen Expert Show, where we talk about how to turn your expertise and experience into money so you can kick ass now, retire in style when you're ready, and so you never, ever have to be out there looking for a job again, unless you really want to. So, I want to talk about why most content doesn't convert, but I want to start by giving you an example. So, have you ever been inside like a dress store? Maybe you're looking for a dress for a special occasion. So, you go in the store and the salesperson comes over and she says, are you looking for anything special today? And you say, yes, I need a dress for an event. And she says, oh, what kind of an event? And so you tell her. And so maybe you pick out a dress or two and she says, can I start a fitting room for you? Because she knows that if she can get you to try on some things and you like the way you look, you're one step closer to making a purchase, right? And so you pick out some things, and then maybe she brings some dresses over and says, I don't know if you saw this, but I think that this is very appropriate for the kind of event you're going to. So now you're in the fitting room and you're trying different things on. And the next thing you know, she starts bringing you scarves and shoes and a purse. And because she wants you to make a whole outfit, not only because you're going to buy more, but she's increasing the chances that you're going to like what you see. And then once you come out and you have the whole outfit on, and she says, "Oh, that looks fantastic." She says, "Well, which items are you going to take with you today?" And she says, "Oh, can I take these over to the cash register for you?" Because now she's leading you right over to where you're actually going to give her your credit card. So you've actually been led by a very skilled salesperson through an entire process where you came in maybe thinking that you needed a dress, but you weren't even sure you were going to buy it from that store, all the way to purchasing an entire outfit. Okay, we can't really walk people through that scenario online, but when we are coaches and consultants and experts, we can use content to basically do the same thing. So you might be saying, I'm already putting tons and tons of content out there. Yes, but here's where you might not be connecting the dots. So, for one thing, you might be focusing on getting content that maybe entertains or engages. And that's the content that's getting you likes and follows. And so it makes you feel really good and it makes you feel like you're moving forward. But while that content is super important in getting discovered, it doesn't go far enough into the what, where, why, and how to actually get you sales. And that's kind of hard to do in 20 or 30 seconds anyway, by the way. And so I want to talk about a solution for that in just a minute. Okay, so the second reason your content might not be connecting is that you might be overly focused on the how or on your own process. And this is the trap that I actually fall into. I focus too much on the how and not enough on the what and the why. I'm a former professor. Being a teacher is really my purpose. I love to teach. And so I tend to get caught up in the how. But that's kind of like I'm geeking out on scarves and shoes, but my potential clients haven't even decided if they want the dress yet. Okay. So that's another reason your content might not be connecting is you're not showing the whole picture. The third reason is that making a decision to buy something is actually part of a well documented psychological process. And if your content doesn't help people move through that process, what we're going to talk about in a minute is definitely going to help you because your content actually has to do 2 things in parallel. First, it's got to move your potential clients through this progression of beliefs, sometimes from not even knowing they have a problem to searching for a solution, choosing a solution, and then actually taking action. And maybe most importantly, each of those belief changes has to reinforce the idea that your solution is going to work for them this time, maybe when other things haven't worked for them in the past. And while all that is going on, there's actually even more work that our content needs to do. First of all, it has to make what we're selling, our solution, Crystal clear, because people don't buy what they don't understand. So if the way you're talking about your solution is vague, you're going to have a hard time getting people over the line. The second thing is that your content is what's going to help people know, like, and trust you. That know, like, trust is actually a concept that was started by a guy named Bob Berg. He wrote a book called Endless Referrals, but it still holds true today, right? All other things being equal, people are going to buy from someone they know, like, and trust. And so our content has to help develop that. And then finally, even if someone's not ready to buy right now, we need to help them remember us. So when they are ready to buy, they'll come back. So let's get into the content we need to create that does all of that. So, my approach is that you focus on creating belief shifting content. And there are four key beliefs we need to focus on, right? The first one is problem awareness. So, your clients need to recognize that they have a problem. The second one is solution awareness. They need to believe there's a solution out there that they might not have tried, or maybe they just haven't thought about before. The third thing is they need to see proof, and they need to understand that this is going to work for them. Everybody thinks that their problem is a little bit different or they're unique. We all want to believe that, right? Even if you know that everyone that comes to you basically has the same problem, you've got to help people believe that your solution is going to help them in whatever they believe their special circumstance to be. And finally, we also have to focus on content that showcases how we're different, because that's what's going to help people remember you. Now, the bonus of focusing on these specific types of content that I just outlined is that first, it automatically grows know, like, trust because it's baked in. Second, you cover all the bases, right? It can't help but establish you as a thought leader and as an expert, and people want to work with experts. And then finally, this kind of content actually does a lot of the hard work of building your brand for you, right? Because everything that you talk about is going to be connected back to your solution and your unique approach. And so that's how you're going to occupy the space in someone's brain for your particular focus area. Look, people hire coaches and consultants when they go from, I should probably figure that out someday, to, oh, wow, I can't afford to ignore this anymore, right? And so this belief shifting content helps them connect the dots, right? We want them to be saying, oh, wow, that sounds like my problem. Oh, this is what was holding me back. I didn't realize there was another way. Or you're describing what I've been feeling, but I couldn't put into words. Um, I've never tried that solution before, or that's why that solution hasn't worked for me in the past, right? We can have a light bulb moment there. Ooh, but it could now, right? So the content that focuses on beliefs not only makes people feel seen, but it offers a clear step towards what they really want, right? So your content does not have to show that you have all the answers all at once. And actually, you don't have to have all the answers all at once. It's really just about showing your audience what's possible and that you understand and have a solution for what's keeping them stuck. So, look, this video is not about creating more content. It's about creating different content. Okay. If you're not currently producing long form content, I would encourage you to think about how it might fit into your strategy as a blog or a podcast or a YouTube. Because the thing is that for people to really understand your thinking and your process and your unique approach, I just think that's really hard to do in 30 seconds of vertical video. And right now, with a lot of people churning out faceless content on I think the more time that you can spend showing yourself as human, the more know, like, trust you're going to gain, which is just going to put you ahead when people come to making their choice. If you want help mapping out how you can use a thought leadership strategy that will position you as an expert in your field that people come to hire to solve their problems, we can do that inside Business Breakthrough. That is my program for coaches, consultants, and independent experts, where I help you put together the mechanics of your business so you are in a better position to generate consistent revenue. In the meantime, be sure and download the Thought Leadership Content Generator. It is a collection of 52 prompts, so a year's worth of weekly long form content prompts. You can actually use them for short form content too, okay, that will help you create a unique space for yourself in your focus area because they actually prompt you to create unique content that helps you shift those customer beliefs that walk them towards a purchase. Okay. Now, if you got some good ideas from the show today, I would love it if you'd like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I do check and I do answer. So that's a wrap for me today. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.